We're gonna kick it off. Drop 2. Alright. 3 shots, 4 kills. That's very efficient of us.
Taking fire!
Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back, or should I say, welcome to Dagger Directive. Now, Dagger Directive is a first-person retro tactical shooter that is in the vein of games from the 90s and early 2000s, such as Delta Force, Rainbow Six, and Ghost Recon. I don't know about you folks, but growing up as a kid, I watched my dad play Delta Force like it was going out of style. I loved it. I absolutely loved it, especially the Black Hawk Down missions. I remember I'd sneak into his office. Not sneak, I didn't have to sneak, but when he was at work, I'd go into the office and I'd play these games, and, you know, I was a boy. And I sucked. They're so difficult, especially when you're not, like, totally developed to play. But I have nothing but fond memories related to those series. So, what I thought I would do is, I have 2 separate things. One of which I need your input on. I'll start a poll, too. This game features the ability for us to play a hardcore Iron Man save, where if we die anytime out in the field, whether it be to enemy fire or falling out of a helicopter, you know, we have to start over from scratch. That character is dead. So, I'm not doing a hardcore run right now, because I tried that. I recorded 2 hours worth of gameplay, then we lost the save file right before the end of a mission. So if you want it, I'll make it happen. For the time being, though, we're gonna do something different, and that is we're going to use classic Delta kits from the 90s, late 80s, 90s, very early 2000s, and we're gonna mess around with some of those classic builds using stuff like the Colt 727. But I've talked your head off enough. Let's get right into it. We're going to play as, how about Sergeant First Class Monk. We are not going to do hardcore, but we are going to skip the tutorial. You see there's a pretty neat crafting, or not crafting, excuse me, there's a pretty neat system here for character creation. Even though everything is low poly and retro, the amount of detail is incredible, and this plays phenomenally. You know, even though it markets itself as a retro shooter, it is very fluid. We're going to start out with the bump helmet, which, fun fact, this is a ProTech skateboard helmet that was commandeered by Delta. The insides, the guts were ripped and stripped, and different attachments were put on them. Like, sometimes you'd see a rhino mount here. This is a counterweight, as well as a strobe. Keep your head where you need it to be. But we're going to pick the Raid BDU outfit and change our vest to the TG Faust, which is the original Special Forces body armor. You see on top of it we've got some type of rig. We have all sorts of camouflage patterns to pick from, my favorite of all time being Desert Night camo. I had a pair of Desert Night camo trousers from my dad from forever ago, but he's a little shorter than I am, and they never fit right. So over the past couple years, I've painstakingly searched and hunted down true Desert Knight camo surplus, including the sniper parka from many moons ago. Era long past. But I think it, I think it would be kind of disingenuous for us, for me specifically, not to wear the Desert Knight camo. But we are playing a Delta run. I'm going to put M81 on for the time being. It is mislabeled as Urban Woodland, but you can clearly see this is M81. Alright, let's jump in.
We have our first mission. Last night, a Russian nuclear submarine ran aground on an island off the coast of Alaska. U.S. and Canadian naval forces have already moved toward the crash site. However, a nearby right-wing militia, the Peacekeepers, got there first. Our reconnaissance flights show that the militia is moving warheads off of the sub and taking them to a nearby island. So far, the militia members have moved 4 off the submarine. They must not be allowed to get the nukes back to the mainland. Your mission is to clear the island of the militia. The locals have already evacuated, so you're weapons free. You'll be inserted on the beach on the west side of the island. From there, you'll move to an abandoned farm near the center of the island. Clear it of hostile forces and search the buildings for the warheads. Cutting off communications is the next objective. There's a radio tower on a hill between the 2 villages. Secure it to ensure they don't get any warning messages. From there, move to the northern fishing village. There are multiple warehouses and docks that could contain the warheads. The militia presence is heavy. Again, clear the hostiles and search for the warheads. Finally, move to the exfiltration point just to the east of the village. The U.S. and Canadian forces will move in after you leave to clean up the warheads. Good luck.
All right. So you see there, we have a mission screen, and this is in early access, and it has 3 full campaigns, each containing 5 missions apiece. And these are sprawling campaigns that allow us to take on the mission as we choose. There are no parameters outside of completing the objectives, and we have a really cool armory to do so. I am loving this style. There is a full body that is modeled and animated. We're going to play on normal so we can enjoy. Let's hit them at 8 in the morning, 08. But you have this really cool retro black and green style that was common at this time for, military spy thrillers, everything like that. You have aerial reconnaissance photos, which are taken from the map. I think this is so cool. I can't give this enough praise. One of my favorite parts of games like this has always been the briefing room, whether it be ground branch or operator. The briefing room is always the coolest. But let's see, we have all sorts of stats here. We have none because we have yet to play a mission. But what we're going to do here is kit up. And I did say that we were going to play with, that late 80s through very, very early 2000s Delta style kit. And I'm particularly talking about the 93 Battle of Mogadishu kit. Big shout out to Randy Shugart and Gary Gordon for the ultimate sacrifice that they provided for our country, and the iconic performances in the 2001 Black Hawk Down movie showcasing their heroism. Everyone's seen it, everyone knows about it, so let's, not like anyone wasn't, but let's put respect on their names, and run some Delta kits. So I picked up the 727. The Colt 727 is the precursor to the M4 carbine. Colt created a bunch and I mean a bunch of these 700 models prior to the first M4. You see an M4 here and an M4A1 up here. This is the military designation. You also see the M16A2, which Rangers would have carried in the 90s up until it was replaced by the M4. And then you have the M16A4, which is the modernized version as well. The 727 has roots from the, I want to say it's the late 70s onward, up until the early 2000s. But your Blood Diamond rifle that everyone loves, your Black Hawk Down Car 15 style rifle that everyone loves, is a Colt 727. The 723 was used in Vietnam, and as well as the XM177. But for my gun nerds out there, hey, that's pretty cool stuff. For everyone else, it sounds like, it might sound like I'm speaking French, but, it's just the progression of these carbines in the hands of special operators, starting in Vietnam and continuing onward into what became the standard infantry rifle until it was replaced by the spear. The M21, I'm gonna pick up 5 mags here. We're gonna run over here and grab a 1911 with 4 additional magazines. I'm not gonna put a suppressor or anything on the pistol, because that would have not been very common at the time. And you see here, we have a very, very cool and diegetic inventory. We can manually remove and add magazines, or if they're in our ammo pouch, quote unquote, they'll swap on their own, as well as each pouch. These pouch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are all designated with a number key from 5 through 0. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. Backpack, we can access this in the field. I'll show you here. So the aim point is going to go on the 727 along with a suppressor, because we are doing a raid. Is there anything else? I'm going to pick up some chem lights. Now, I'm not going to totally be all tactical Tom on this. Oh, I picked up several things we don't need. These M68 impacts. We do need M67s though, as well as M18 smoke grenades. We'll keep the chem lights in our bag for the time being. We're going to be taking a heck of a lot of smoke and a heck of a lot of frags. Yes, very good. There we go. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 9 frags, 2, 4, 6, 8 M18s. We have a good amount of ammo. I am going to throw some spare Stanigs in there, and 1 more of these just in case. Just in case stuff gets rocky. But here we go. For all you fans, there you go. That is the classic Delta kit. Here we go. So I have opted to turn off the crosshair as well as the compass, just for immersion's sake. But we might need the compass for objectives. I don't think there's a physical model for the compass.
You're being dropped on the west end of the island. Head east toward the abandoned farm.
Alright. Got the LZ coming up hot. Coming up hot. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, we have touched down on the island. That was a successful infiltration. Now, for this first mission, I'm going to play without the compass on. The crosshairs are going to stay off. I do believe, just for immersion's sake. But I know where we're going. We need to head east. Up here, there is an enemy encampment with roughly a squad-sized element that we need to take out prior to moving forward. Let's see here. The world is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And like I said, with this game, you have modern controls. You know, Q, E to lean. And you see the rifle actually changes. We change our perspective on the rifle itself. And when we aim down the sights with an optic, we get this separate window which simulates our peripheral vision that we would have shooting with both eyes open, which you should shoot with both eyes open. It is pretty easy skill to learn, and it could save you in the long run. Now with the rifle, it's the same, and you see we have a variable power optic on top of our M21, which is unsuppressed, and there is not an option to suppress it with the current build, which isn't that big of a deal, but you'll see the enemy is pretty reactive. We are going to take some high ground here and try not to silhouette ourselves. Yeah, see, get bad guys up here. Very good. Honestly, we could probably fire from up here. Do the Delta sniper playthrough, huh? There we go. Alright. So we got a decent overview. At least 4 hostiles, armed hostiles. Let's get our binos out and get a better pano. Furthest man's 225. Closest man is 195 and moving. So we're going to 0 for 2. We don't, at this point in time, we don't have to worry about ballistics. As far as I have seen, everything shoots straight. You do have to change your 0 though, for your long shots like this. But I don't think that ballistics come into play. Wind does not come into play or anything like that. So, you know, we shoot them. That bullet's gonna hit where we put it. So let's get it started. I missed the second guy, unfortunately. And you see, after we shot that first dude, the second dude ran off. In hard mode, these guys would have been alerted. And it's kind of unfair the way hard mode works. I have suffered through a little bit of that. We have yet to see the second man pop his head back up. And there he is. Killed him. Alright. Let's move on to the main objective. Everyone seems to be behind cover at the moment. We could honestly bound up a little bit. Let's go back the way we came. And move on them here. Yes, very good. Very good. I thought it'd be fun. You have the ability to use modern weapons in this. You can, deck yourself out and play as a, Marine Raider or a Ranger, SF dude, whatever. But there, when you have the option to throw on this, I mean, in a retro shooter like this, that's, very much so a spiritual successor to the OG Delta Force games that I love, are near and dear to my heart. Why wouldn't we take that opportunity to play with these 90s kits?
You've reached the abandoned farm. Clear the militia and search the buildings.
Very cool. we have a fully voiced commander who is one of the only voices we hear on our missions. He lets us know our objectives, and when we've completed our objectives, there is a vocal prompt. So you're not just wandering around. And like I said, I have played this first mission so many times, I've got a pretty good handle on it. Oh, also a fun thing, check this out. You can shoulder your rifle on the opposite shoulder. So instead of my right shoulder, because I'm a right-handed shooter, I can put it on my left shoulder, but still fire with my right hand. And this is something you actually do when transitioning, so that you're able to make shots that on your right side are just impossible, right? Or uncomfortable. Ooh, Jesus. Okay, we got one more. He's outside the fence here. Dropped him. Alright, that's not it, though. So, play... Gonna drop and reload. You see how the perspective changes? If you're already aiming down the sight, that can throw you off a little bit. I haven't had a lot of practice, especially not with the CCO, and that's because I've been playing with the... Oh, man. Transition.
There are no nukes here. Move to the radio tower.
That was close. Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a squad-sized element at the radio tower. Eliminate them and secure the tower.
Ladies and gentlemen, you should always pack a secondary. And the reason being is, you know, we're playing solo, first and foremost. So we are our backup. We are our number 1, 2, 3, and 4 man. We need to have our own back. And there are times, you know, you think it'd be easy to, like, count your rounds, and you know, for the most part you do, but for the most part you do, you know, keep a decent idea of how many rounds you fired, etc. But you can also feel it. In a video game, you can't feel, you know, your rounds expended. So it's either you're counting them, or you're gonna have little funny moments like we just had, where you go, uh-oh. So, I did mention we have plenty of contact up ahead. Ooh. 1, 2. Nice. 4 movers up front. I'm going to try to drop here. Yeah, and get a shot on them. That's good. I think I'm going to start these guys in the back here. Need them to move up a little, though. Nope. We're gonna shoot who we can see. Alright, that's 3 EKIA. That was a bush. I don't see the 4th man. So we are oh, there we go. He lives. One more. I think we killed him. I'm not positive, but I think we killed him. Let's transition here. Let's try to get the high ground over here. He's not firing, and he was in a good prone-supported stance, so I'm going to assume we killed him, but we're still going to bound. Oh, here, look, primary example of why you would switch your shoulder, right? From here, I'm shooting right hand, right shoulder, right? And then I need to transition to my left shoulder so I'm still stable, but also not using my non-dominant hand. That's a pretty common drill for shooting. That isn't a, like, down drill. Let's see the corpse there. Where was that guy? I'm hoping there's a body over here by one of these trees. It should be, like, right there. Looks clear. We haven't taken additional contact. It should be alright. But what I was saying about hard mode is if we would have shot that first guy in the back, or shot these two guys over here, even if they didn't, you know, call out or transition to fire at us, if we killed them both with that much distance in between them with a suppressed rifle, we're shooting, you know, 100 meters, 50 to 100 meters away, they still would have, those four individuals, part of the front patrol, would have fired on us. It's kind of needs some work, but that's my only critique. It is extremely difficult, so it makes sense that it's hard mode, you know. But it seems difficult in the unfair aspect. So we're gonna cross this big LDA. Continue trying to move cover to cover, stopping every once in a while to scan for threats. And what we're doing here is looking for changes in the environment, right? We know the natural color scheme. We're looking for movement and colors that don't quite make sense, shapes that don't make sense in the environment, yada yada. We're also going to try our best not to crest hills. So like here, we're moving in the middle of this hill, right? And that's so... Ooh, we have a structure up ahead. Let's get a distance on that. 122 meters. 120. Alright. So, I didn't see anybody moving. Let's creep around. Anyways, so you see here, we're in a flatland, like a rolling hills, you know, semi-mountainous flatland. Alright, so we're going to move through this valley as opposed to walking on the tops of these hills, or on these ridges. And the reason being is if you walk on the ridge, you look at all this white and blue sky, right? If someone was walking straight on that ridge, you could see their silhouette. Not only are they giving us a shape, but they're giving us movement and color. Three things you got to really be mindful of out in the field, right? So us, we are moving low and slow in a bounding motion through this little valley, or it's more like a gulch. But moving on this target, so we're not silhouetting ourselves. So nobody can see us moving. We're going to transition to our car. I said our car. There we go. All right. 727. And we're going to get our delta on here. I hear footsteps. It's definitely several sets of footsteps inside. Oh, man. Alright, well, they ended up jumping us. So, well, let's transition arms. Reload. What we're going to do... Oh, wrong key. Pardon me. Let's drop a frag. Oh, God bless. Alright. Moving right along here. Sometimes I like to hold the Q, or not hold, but toggle the Q key, so I get this view when I am doing CQB in this. This is a lot.
Taking fire.
Man, they all bunched up together. But you still see how reactive the AI is. You saw them throw smoke there. We are going to commandeer some magazines. I'm not one to leave behind the spoils of war. But you see them... Oh, as well as one of those. But you see them moving together, throwing smoke, taking up different shooting positions. It's really neat, and it's unique. Even a lot of modern games don't have good enemy AI, or good reactive enemy AI. Currently, the only game that I can really think of that, you know, is noteworthy of praise.
Secure the tower and search the buildings.
Roger that. Off the top of my head is Road to Vostok right now, and they are on it 100% when it comes to the AI. That is one tense experience. Alright, distance to target, 108 meters. Alright, I think we're going to take this one kind of straight away. We're going to cross here. You must forgive me for some of my bad transitions, but I'm still getting used to the primary and secondary being 3 and 4 versus 1 and 2. So when I'm hitting 2, I think I'm hitting the button for my car, and I'm not. I'm calling this a car, the Colt 727. Alright, we're making entry here. We are in the belly of the beast.
What was that?
Tell you what, man, I was missing out playing this on normal. Jesus. Why was I playing this on hard? This is where the fun is. God, man, I felt like a... Ooh, I was moving 500 meters at a time. Oh, Christ. We are stuck. I'll tell you what we'll do. Throw a frag there. Throw a frag there. Pop smoke. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's dip out and move. Christ almighty. Well, you can see where our smoke went. Not where we wanted it. Alright, we're gonna stop inside. Reload. Make sure we're topped off. Alright, get an idea of what we got here. I'm gonna move some of these frags. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Alright, hold on. Let's keep him pinned. See if I can do what I want to do. Very good. Yep, that was a perfect frag. Very, very good. Oh, man. Ah, Jesus.
I heard something.
And you can hear all the while, these dudes are moving, shooting, they're communicating with each other, throwing smoke, which these guys haven't really got a chance to. But they haven't really needed to. Well, I'm gonna throw another frag over here. Throw it up right there. Alright, let's get a move on. Sorry, I took a step back there. I thought the noise was coming from out here, which it very well could be. They like to sit over here in these flowers. Alright, moving interior. Folks, I am just letting you know, I'm a pretty decent game player. You know, in most games. There he is.
The buildings are clear and the tower is secured. They will no longer be able to get a warning out.
But they definitely would have got...
must be in the town to the east. Secure and search the town.
Shoot, they definitely would have got a warning out. Man, I was slow. But, hey, it's the nature of the game. You know, play it slow, methodical. For the most part. I try not to run around too much, but sometimes you just can't help it. I wanted to do some body searching, some looting. I guess we didn't kill that guy with the frag. That's crazy. Hard to believe. I can't tell how damaging some of these weapons are. Yeah, I can't tell for certain on several different weapons, like what the, especially the explosive based weapons, what their blast radiuses are and whatnot. You know, you'd think a M67 in a 50 square foot plus maybe 100 square foot space would be devastating, but who knows? I'm breaking my own rule about silhouetting to move on this truck. Truck's running, but surprisingly, I didn't see any shooters. Our objective is over here to the north. More northern, but we can go wherever we want for the most part. I haven't tried to just like take off for these mountains, but I'm sure there's not a whole lot stopping me, believe it or not. And we really shouldn't be walking on established trails like this, but oh, there's a structure up there. Let's go cause some problems. So when you have a road or trail or anything like this, man-made, that's been used thoroughly, you should never walk directly on it. Like here, we, for the most part, know that we're safe to our rear. We know that off to our right here, which is the south, we know that it's pretty... there's a pretty good chance that there isn't enemy contact down there, at least on this map, right? Where we are. At least one more. Man. Frag out. Oh, nope. We're gonna throw one of these and cover our movements. Alright. And now we're gonna move. Oh, we killed one. Blind firing. Alright, now we'll move on the structure. Alright, clear. Very good. Very good. We're going to pick this stuff up. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, so you have this established road, right? You want to move parallel to the road. You don't want to walk directly on the road, ever, at any time. It's very, very bad juju to just walk on established roads. That sets yourself up for getting ambushed. Alright, I'm gonna switch some of these over. for some of our full mags. Yeah, very good. Perfect. All right, moving right along. I'm gonna try to move more. Actually, no, we're just gonna walk right down this this jute here. You see contact down here at the bottom. We can probably go ahead and pounce on them. See, 1, 2, 3 hostiles. At least one down there by the ATV. That's a almost 400 meter shot. Got 3 guys by the truck, 200 meters exactly. Nope, 4. We have a 4th. Alright. We're going to try to get these guys. We are zeroed for 2. Oop. Pulled it. Nice. Alright. Well, we did pull several shots. Something that the AI does at distance like that I've noticed, when you spot them and they start shooting at you, they start returning fire, they kind of do this funny, like, jiggle like that from side to side. It's a very minute jiggle, but it is enough for a round to miss. There is, the bullet does take time. It's not like a hit scan. The bullet does take time to get to its target. So if I fired right now on this enemy at his chest, I would miss. But we are going to pop him. You see how it took that little quarter of a second for the round to get there? And in between his step, that round hit him. Very cool. Hopefully they add, and I say this, maybe it'd be cool if Arcane Alpacas added a little, an option to have, like, true ballistics, instead of just making that the default game mode. Oh, Jesus, okay. Now, where did those rounds come from? Switch to our binos real quick. We killed those 4. There he is. Yeah, I see him. Shooter on the rocks. Wait, do I see him? Yeah, shooter on the rocks. Right at the tree. Dead. Alright, very good. It's, looks very different. Oh, man, there's a 3rd shooter. Really? Alright, we gotta move. We're gonna move left here and get a better position on him. I'm also going to drop our 0 to 300. Drop our adjustment. Yeah, it's a lot different looking through a 32 power scope versus a 9 power scope. Fun fact for those of you shooting, if you have your rifle zeroed for 200 meters, or let's say 300, right? And you're shooting at something 100 meters away from you, right? You're going to have to aim low. That's called nuts, guts, chest, etc. Right? So if I'm shooting at a target 50 or 100 meters away, I'm going to be aiming low, and it's going to hit square in the chest. This is if you're using irons, if you're using an optic, right? Because at 300, your optic, like right now, mine's zeroed for 100 meters. At 100 meters, this round will impact right where the dot is. At 300, I'm going to have to give it a little bit for drop, for the bullet drop itself. I wanted to get eyes on here. I'm talking about nonsense, and there's enemy up ahead. That's a 200-meter shot. 209 to that structure. 300 to the rear. So now if we were playing a pure sniper run and doing it much more realistically than I'm doing now, we could set up a fire table where we would, especially if I was...
The nukes must be in this last village. Search the warehouses along the docks.
Alright, Roger, Commander. So, I am going to be playing this with my dad. I don't know if that's going to be on the channel. He doesn't know that yet. But this is one of his Christmas gifts, because I'm going to surprise him. He's got a, S down his leg. But if we were running a sniper spotter team and we wanted to do this realistically, one of us, the spotter, would be, like, for example, the rusty structure to our 12, that is 200 meters, and then I would take a measurement here at the sign. Sign is 100, so blue ATV is roughly 150, right? I would 0 for 2 and shoot like that. We would have a fire table for these guys moving. So here, we're gonna, this is not the best hide, but it's gonna have to work. So we're gonna kick it off. Drop 2. Alright. 3 shots, 4 kills. That's very efficient of us. Shooter. Very good. Another shooter. Very good. Shooter. Very good. All right, that taking out these guys. Yeah, taking out these guys prior to us pushing the objective. We're thinning the herd to make our life easier. We're gonna dip around here. Oh. Shooter. I don't know how much bullet penetration matters in this as well. I imagine if I shoot through some wood. Alright. Moving right along. Let's actually transition. Let's see if we got that guy. No, it doesn't seem like we did. Alright. No problem. They didn't pop smoke though, so maybe we did. Or maybe it's just the AI being funny. Let's see. We need... Here we go. Gotta pick this back up. Sorry, I am really doing my best with these controls. So we're gonna launch a couple of these. Cover our movements. Yeah, that's good. One more right there. Alright. We're gonna push off to the right of this boulder. We're gonna push in and clear this side first. Yeah, we'll push from, which side is this? South side, towards the water, which will be the north side. See multiple structures. I think we killed about 10, didn't we? My round's impacting. I think so. Right? I wonder where the blood spatter is. Kind of been using the blood spatter as an indicator as to whether or not I'm hitting stuff, because you'll see a cloud, like a little pink mist cloud, pop up on impact. It might just be bugged, I'm not sure. Alright. Here we go.
In the grass.
Oh, God. We've done it again. Oh my God, I've got a bad habit. Ooh. Man. All right. Ooh. God bless. Man, it gets tense out here.
Heard something.
I think because it's a retro shooter that these aren't tight engagements or something, but nope. Man. Gosh. Is there someone back here as well? Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. God, I'm hearing these voices all over, man. Jesus. Good thing we're not playing hardcore. You guys would be disappointed. There's one right here, like close. All right, yeah, maybe the voices are just a hair off directionally. That doesn't excuse me getting jumped, but I think our guesstimating might have some validity to it. We basically put the barrel in that guy's ear that time. All right. Try to do a rough. Yeah, okay. Very.
There's only 3 nukes. They must have already moved one back to the mainland.
All right, very good. We
Move to the extraction point.
we have survived our ordeal here in the Alaskan bush. Now, we almost didn't make it out of here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see we have burned every round that we've had, then some. All these spare magazines have been commandeered, which is a big part of this game, is, you know, inventory management and whatnot. You're not going to be able to, unless you are putting one round in target, no suppressive fire, no nothing. You're putting perfect pop, 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 you know, surgical shooting on these guys. Then you're not taking a combat load or less. Combat load being 6+1. You know, magazines, 30 round magazines. There's no way. Now, at least for me, there is not. If you guys want to see a hardcore playthrough, please let me know in the comments, and I'll make it happen. Hardcore meaning, you know, we start the game, and that is the life we have from start to finish. That is our life. Now, I think I could probably swing it if I play really, really slow. I would play that hardcore on hard too, just for immersion's sake, right? But if you want to see it, let me know. I think I could do it. I have confidence, and I hope that's not like false confidence. But I'm really tenacious. Once I set my mind to something, I get it done. Ooh. We have alerted the natives. Oh, our bird's showing up. Very good. Very good. Oh, okay, there's the pink mist. This looks a little brown for some reason. It's like we're kicking up dust, you know? You see, this enemy was maneuvering on us, which is terrifying. It's very scary, especially as a solo player. This, as far as I know, is only co-op at the time of recording. Oh my god. I say, yeah, I could do a hardcore playthrough. I promise you, I've gotten, completed the first 2 missions. Now, I don't know what's to come. So it might be biting off more than we can chew. And I'd hate to, you know, start one and then only make an episode. I mean, that's, as a YouTuber, you can't really do that. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed our first mission with the Delta 90s kit. Very cool. Very cool. And I wore the M81 because we're not in the desert, as much as I'm sure you would like to see the true Delta loadout with the tricolor desert.
Get back to the ship. We need to move quickly to secure that last warhead. We've tracked ships that left the island back to the Peacekeepers' ranch along the coast of Alaska. The missing nuke must have been aboard one of those ships. Satellite photos show activity in a nearby town and at a militia base further up a nearby mountain. Unfortunately, a snowstorm is moving into the area, so our surveillance will be partially obscured. There are 2 ways in and out of the town, by boat or by a single road. If they try to leave by sea, we can stop them. If they leave by land, we can catch up with them. Your mission is to capture the nuke before they can move it. You'll be inserted near the town. Make your way to the docks and clear them out. If you locate the nuke, defend it until reinforcements from Canada arrive. If you don't find the warhead, you'll need to move into the mountains and clear the militia compound. The compound is well defended, so expect heavy resistance. Satellite photos show multiple barracks, weapon ranges, armories, warehouses, and various other buildings. The nuke is most likely in the warehouse or armory. We must secure the nuke before the Peacekeepers can use it.
Alright. Well, what I was saying was, you know, if we get a desert mission, trust me, I'll get kitted up. But for now, I'm keeping to the BDUs in M81, which are my favorite, my absolute favorite. Got all sorts of cool camouflage styles, though. Even some that never existed, like all over brush, track urban, and T-square. I think it's T-square. T-block. That's what it is. Even have urban, like a true urban style woodland. But we're gonna keep wearing this for the time being. Very good, very good. I think we have enough time. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take us into this next mission. Still using the Delta kit, I believe. Did we add anything or take anything away? be alright. Yeah, we'll do just fine. I was gonna say I could throw a larger optic on here, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's take an AT4 with us, and we're gonna pretend this is a LOL, M72 LOL. All right, moving out. I love the immersive helicopter rides.
Snowstorm is picking up, so move quickly. We're dropping you off outside the town. Clear the docks, then move to the militia compound.
Yeah, I sure do love these immersive helicopter rides to your destination where you actually have to physically dismount. Man, look at this. Look, we have the KB pass at home. Alright, we already got enemy up front here. Dismount, dismount, dismount. All right, furthest corner 215, hut 208, so we're shooting 200 all across the board. Fire. Fire. And hit. Definitely kicked the hornet's nest a little bit. I think we killed him. I do believe. We're in an awful, treeless, coverless expanse, except for these two boulders. So, if we start taking contact, I'm not going to do it now. I would if we were playing hardcore. If we start taking contact, I'll pop a, oh, yep. That's a frag. Okay. Now there is no sprint key. The only sprint is the one we got when using the W key. In order to walk, we hold shift, which is usually your sprint key, and that's our like tactical walk. Which you saw me trying to use moving on a 100-meter target. For shots like that, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to watch actual Delta, because I can't promise you crazy shots. I can promise you completion. I can promise you completion. But I can't promise you crazy sprinting, moving headshots. But we'll have fun. This is such a gem, and it's a nice break in some of the monotony of modern shooters, which I love. Don't get me wrong, I love a shooter, man. Road to Vostok is not in that category when I'm talking about monotonous shooter. But, like, Operator is getting ready to have a major update, and it hasn't had an update for God knows how long. Like, a true major update, with multiple maps being added and whatnot. This has 3 full campaigns, and I understand it's not, you know, the same fidelity, but this has 3 full campaigns with 15 playable missions. Ooh, contact. Got him. You know, and this is just early access. It is $20 on the Steam store if you want to go check it out. I highly recommend playing it. The replayability is through the roof. You know, we're just playing with these 90s kits right now. With the Black Hawk Down 90s kit. But there is so much replayability. It's got co-op built in. Gonna have a lot of fun with this. I also don't have the compass turned on. Normally there's a compass at the top of the screen. For immersion's sake, I have that turned off, as well as the crosshair. But, you know, it's the standard lime green, same stuff that you see, you know, when we're in the briefing room, the war room. It's the same stuff, and it's awesome. It's the same color as the 2 times you see down there. It is just so much fun, and it is so refreshing and fun to play. Everything feels good. Playing this with modern controls is insane, you know. It just feels, and I say modern controls, I mean like, everything feels good and fluid. It's not jagged like you might expect. We're gonna have to reload coming up. But anyways, I could gush about it for a while. It's very nostalgic to me, and I'm sure to several of you. I hate our position. Let's get down. Yeah, and you have freedom of movement, freedom to choose your kits, you know, deck out your operator. It's a bunch of fun. Bunch of fun. Let's get a distance on these suckers. 200 to the farthest man. Kaboom. Smoked him. I said in another game, I'm not sure if it was Vostok or what, I like to play the reconnaissance role, the sniper role. I like to make my shots from a distance. Another one. Oh, got him. Half of that is shown and reflected in the name, Observer Monk. You know, I like to spend... I mean, I like to be a part of the action, but I also like to watch from a distance and, you know, send shots.
The nuke could be in any of the buildings. Clear them out.
Send shots from a considerable distance away. There's very few things that are as satisfying for me as making a long, good bomb shot with a high-powered rifle. You know, it's like the precision shooting portion of sniping it's like a little mathematical achievement every time you make one of those fantastical shots, you know. Every time you pull the trigger, it's a mathematical achievement. It's, yeah, everything has weight to it. Alright, moving interior. Took contact. Oh, Christ.
I'm hit. I'm hit. I heard something.
There's our bad habit. Once again, showing its ugly head.
They must have the nuke in their compound up the mountain.
Alright.
There's a single road that leads to their compound. Sweep the road as you move up.
Very good. So we are here. Oh, good to know that we still have our waypoints and whatnot. Very cool. But we are here at the docks. I'm glad to know that we can see ourselves. So we have to move around the base of this mountain here towards this guard post. There is only one road in and out from the town to this compound up here on the hill, which looks like a heavily fortified mess. And we're supposed to clear the road as we go. Looks like we're gonna have some issues. Presumably this kind of looks like a fence on the map, so we're probably hitting an ECP. Let's go ahead and swap out our mags. All full, all full. We might do something funky with that AT4. Alright, crossing another big LDA. And this this area looks cold. The grays paired with the white and the icy blue water, it just puts a chill on you. It is beautiful though, and this retro style takes me back to a simpler time. A very, very simple time. Thought that was a bad guy. So, for those of you that are big fans of the military shooter or military history or just gun nerds, let me know what your favorite iconic rifle build is. Whether it be, you know, the Blood Diamond Car 15 Colt 727 or 723. Pretty sure it's 27, but let me know. Let me know what you like. And then, on top of that, let me know what your favorite movie is. Your favorite... Not... Your favorite action movie that wasn't necessarily mainstream, right? Like, no John Wick, please. If you liked Blood Diamond, let me know. Or Black Hawk Down. Or, like, your semi-obscure shooter. What's your love child? Mine is Blood Diamond. Or Man on Fire, honestly. Man on Fire is... I wouldn't put Blood Diamond in my top 3 favorites, but I would put Man on Fire right behind Drive. Drive being number 1. I think I talked about that in another video. So, you see me kind of scooting in front of this tree. We don't want to become something called tree cancer. That is a good way. That is a good way to get identified. Good night. Well, I didn't mean to shoot him in the face. It's just kind of how it worked. Kind of how the cookie crumbles. And they are inadvertently helping us by popping that smoke.
You're approaching a guard post. Don't let them alert the base.
Where's our third shooter? I wonder.
Good work. The base was not alerted.
Did we kill all of them? Interesting. I think we might have outran the prompt there. Moving on the ECP. Guard checkpoint. ECP being an entry control point. This... No, we didn't clear it. I knew we didn't. We were missing one. Man, we've got a bit of a fight ahead of us. I am going to stop and commandeer some magazines. If we have heavy, light... Let's put this in our backpack. Full, heavy, light, full... Couldn't put those in our backpack. Very good. There's nothing to pick up out in the field, like you can't find. At least, let me preface by saying I haven't looked very hard. But like going up this tower, for example, there's not going to be anything special for you to find there. So it is very much a linear point A to point B experience. But you're not guided. The only guidance you have is, you know, the commander letting you know what objective you're approaching, what objective you've completed, which does, the voice prompts really do help so you don't get confused. Got a large open expanse of land here. Now, if we wanted to, we could go straight up this mountain. It would take us some time, but we could make it happen if we wanted to. I'm kind of sticking to the road for now, and that's because I'm hoping to get into a gunfight. Again, remember what we said about hand railing. We're a little closer than I'd like to be, but we are still hand railing nonetheless. This looks pretty dead. This area looks dead. See a structure up ahead, about 100 meters up. Also see, yeah, that's definitely a fort. I think we're gonna try to hit these boulders over here and fire down to this compound. I think I see one there. Nope, I did not. Well, unless he moved. I'm not sure. Now, we are crossing a really nasty LDA. I didn't put us in the snow gear because I'm personally not a fan, but you know, we would stick out like a sore thumb right now. There's very little greenery where we are. There's a bad guy. Another one. I don't know if we hit the third. Let's transition shoulders real quick. You know what we can do? No, we'll save it. We'll save it. I was about to do something goofy. I am going to throw a frag. Now, we need to get... Let's get right here, yeah. Oh, Jesus, we hunted that thing. Alright, hold on. Redo. God, I didn't realize that we're throwing like Bo Jackson out here. There we go. Alright, that killed him. Jesus God, man. The reticule definitely helps when it comes to your frag. Dump that. Get on the road. I see a guard post way up on that hill. What's the distance to target? 374. You know what? You guys have anywhere to be? I don't have anywhere to be. We're gonna wait it out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, our sentry friend still hasn't shown his ugly mug, so we're going to keep pushing. And keep on pushing. Oh, and let me know if you were interested in seeing more of the classic special operations kits, or if you want me to. I can't do total one-to-one gear in this game because there are limited options. There are no foregrips. There is, you know, one PEC model. Oh, contact front. All right, let's chop him down. If I can get a twofer here. Yep. Nice. All right. Very good, very good. Nothing like smoking a patrol by yourself. That right there, when everything works out and you get those perfect rounds on target, you drop all of them and nobody gets alerted. That is a moment that I live for. We are still following the road here. You can see we are well past the guard post. We're still following the road. But the base is over this way, and we are moving in this massive J-hook all the way around it. Walking right into the front door, which I didn't really want to take us this way, but what I did want to do was get into fights, and this has given us the opportunity to do that. I think that's a bad guy right there. Let's check. Yes, it is. There we go. Would I have taken that shot in a realistic scenario? And the answer is probably no. Not without knowing, or not without being closer to the base or the area that I'm raiding. Did you hear that voice and how it... I was gonna say, see, the voices are so close to being spot on. They're just a little, like the direction and the distance is just a little bit off, which is hardly a... It's not really a... I mean, I guess it is a criticism, but, you know, for everything that could be off, I'll take that. I'd say that we're about clear. See me looting before we finish. I have an issue, a problem. I have a grand problem, and it's the loot. I just can't help myself. I can't help myself around it. I am a fiend. I'm a fiend. We're not even looting anything of value. I'm just picking up ammo. I just can't help it, man. I'm a rat. I'm a proud, very proud rat. But you see, sometimes they'll drop 2 magazines, sometimes they drop 1. It's all highly dependent on RNG. So I like to pick them up when we find them. We're going to transfer over our AT4. And we're going to do something fun with it. And we have a long walk. We have quite the long walk. So we're gonna cut up this mountain here to like that point right below the peak or the ridge that's sticking out, and we're gonna walk across. That way we have a bird's eye view of this. This looks like a... This doesn't look like... This is not the main outpost. That's like a... that's a little OP setup for first warning. so we are going to check it out here. Yeah, look at that. Huh. They have a freaking bridge. I've never been this way before. That's another reason I wanted to do it from this way. So what we're going to do is cause some serious problems for these individuals down here. That is 268 meters away. No problem. Alright, so we're going to take a knee. Backblast area clear. We're the only one here. Right? Lights out. Let's inspect the damage. Seems like we missed the truck and hit that dude directly. God bless America. I love the AT-4. Now, I wish it were a Carl Gustav. There is a small, and so your unit, you're supposed to be a Marine Raider, part of MARSOC, etc. Hence the disproportionate number of Marine-specific weapons. As well as the only patches being available are Marine patches. I'm missing like crazy here. What's our DTT here? 300. No wonder I'm shooting a freaking foot under him. But anyways, hopefully they add more units moving forward, so we don't have to be a Marine and wear these Marine patches. We can wear a Polish patch, which we might do. Oh man, there they are. All right, well, we're just gonna have to. Alright, sorry for that. We got jumped. Not like we didn't deserve it, but there's a whole lot of nothing out here. And as far as I can tell right now from my, experience playing the first and second mission, I've only played this one three or four times. I have not gone further. And I have played the first mission more times than I care to admit, because of playing on hardcore. But camouflage does not affect your ability to be seen from what I've seen. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, we gotta move. We gotta break contact. I should still... Hold on. Do I still have... Yeah, of course. I bring all these smokes and then don't use them and then wonder... Like, huh. Man. Why are we struggling? Oh, we're not using our resources because we're getting distracted. Let's smoke them out so we can move without getting shot at. It's almost like it's Infantry 101 or something. Throw that one. Then we'll move. Oh, that one hit the tree. Well, such is life. Sometimes you throw a smoke grenade into the tree. We are going to pop this one across the bridge, hopefully. Yep. Ooh. Shoot her in the tower. I am gonna throw a frag. Over. For a second, I thought we were dead. I saw our life flash in front of... Ooh. See, that direction sounded like it was right behind us to the left. We're gonna have to take this very... Ooh. I see an opportunity. Oh, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. Yeah! We got it. We got a knife. Woo! Very good. Very good. Alright, that was just a... That was the second ECP. Now, this was actually the true ECP to the fort. Look at this place, man. This is a mess. Almost looks like a Gary's Mod map. But, you know, something that Vostok is doing for me, and I've been thinking about this for a while now, something I'd like to do a video on is, what is it about, not a horror game concept, but what is it about
their ranch is well fortified. Take a direct approach, or find a gap in their defenses.
What is it about being, like having downtime in combat, or being Stalker does it really well. When you're a combatant in an active conflict zone or a war zone, and you have downtime, you know, and you just want to sit by the fire and chill and listen to campfire stories or whatever the hell. You know, what is it about that is comforting? You know, and I know the answer. I'm saying, like, there's more than one answer, and there's got to be something about the... What is it about conflict and hardship that brings people together and makes... You know, people in those situations, at those campfire stories, they're not really talking. They're not really swapping stories like you'd think. It's very... quiet, and yeah, someone might play guitar and everyone else is solemnly listening, you know, and actively listening, you know. It's, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but hey, you might get a like hour-long video of me rambling about that, which, you know, just about every video's shares the same description, but this one's gonna have a script attached to it. Video essays have become super popular over the last couple of years, man, and I don't know. I think I have something to share with the world. Oop. All right, we shot 2 more rounds than we should have. Oh, you saw that recoil, didn't you? God bless. Nice. Man, we killed a dude with a knife and a 1911. We're doing some lethal wet work here. Let's throw a new mag in that. As well as this. We shouldn't need too many more. We shouldn't have to fire too many more rounds going forward with the M21. We should be. All our engagement should be pretty close. You see the distances here. So let's talk about warfare for a second in terms of actual engagement distances, right? And I'm talking about modern combat. I'm going to talk 90s forward. And what I'm really talking about, if you want to tighten that up a little bit, is post-2001 combat operations in the Middle East, right? Which we are not in the Middle East right now in the game. You know, we are operating on American soil. But I wanted to... Ooh, there he is. I wanted to talk about in like what a realistic engagement distance is, etc. So anywhere between 100, like in our game here that we're playing, anywhere between 100 and 300 meters are our active engagement ranges, right? On a lesser scale, you're seeing some of this closer stuff where, you know, we're right up on the guys. Those are extremely rare in real combat scenarios, right? Most of your engagements are 300 meters plus.
Someone was here.
Especially Afghanistan, you're talking about hillside to hillside. And I'm talking 300, 400, 500 meter engagements where your M2 is, or your M2, the big 50 caliber machine gun developed by John Browning, is your primary, like you're using the truck gun to sling lead at insurgents, or you're calling airstrikes, or your designated marksman is getting to test out his piece. You know, it's very different from the, I feel like the actual engagement distances in combat have been kind of blown out of proportions because most of all the stuff you see in media and in games is from a special operations perspective, which makes sense because it would be, if you made a game purely about being an infantry soldier, it would be a little bit boring compared to being an operator. The reason being is that your engagements are forever away. I'm not saying it would be boring. It could be fun. You could really make it a fun experience, but for the most part, it would be a very niche experience. But, same token, I would love to see, and there is a bit of a resurgence of more realistic shooters coming out, right? I mean, Project Reality, Squad, the only thing that makes Squad less realistic, I'd say, is the fact that you have people playing the game, right? Like, not every match is a coordinated effort, right? Which isn't a bad thing, I mean, but not everybody's playing the game, you know, like, you know, total tactical Timmy, which I'm one of those people. I don't do that. I cannot stand milsim. But I'm just trying to think, you know, your engagement distances are a lot further away than one might think they are. So much so as this engagement distance is insanely close, you know. Now, everything closer, when you've seen us up on guys like this, that's like, these are panic levels of combat proximity, right?
What was that?
And, you know, once again, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And that was a little rant about the differences in engagement ranges for special operations and standard line infantry or advanced infantry personnel in Modern Combat 2001 forward. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm here uploading every day. God bless. Gave him the Shugart 7. The 1911. Very good. Very good.
They're here. What was that?
Nope. Dry. Oh, got him. Man, they're thick over here. You see me using the lean function. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, we should have died there. Ooh, we are running low on ammo. We are running severely low on ammo. And these are all kill, no capture, man. You know, we're not... These aren't objective-based like they say they are. These are... You are clearing out a full militia camp. I don't know how many combatants we've killed. I can't wait to look at our stats. Man, because we are raining blood, man. Laying hate, raining blood. Go through. I'm just talking about ammo, and I'm going through dead checking everybody. I probably shouldn't be doing that, huh? There's probably some legislation about that somewhere. All right. Well, there are no nuclear weapons here. I doubt nuclear weapons would be at the armory. That just seems silly. So we're going to have to go look for bad guys to shoot, it seems. It'd be funny if the nukes were out on the armory. I hear our chopper over here. I wonder if it's drawn the attention of any ne'er-do-wells. Any bad guys. Looks like the O course is clear. Frigid Alaskan winter, man. You know, freak snowstorm. I would love to spend some time in Alaska. Alright, let's hit these houses, see what we can see. In these warehouses. They've got to be around here somewhere, right? Dead check everything. What are those structures? We have not seen those yet. We did clear those out. I don't think that counts towards the objective area. At least I hope it doesn't. That would really suck. I see the guy we killed earlier. Let's move on these structures. This looks like... Oh. We came in from this side, though. So I kind of expected us to have cleared everything out. We might have missed a building, though. It's possible. I'm not really playing this very by the book. We've gone off course, off script. I'm being an individual. I'm doing what I want to do. We did clear this earlier. Alright, what the heck?
They're here.
Oh, okay. Someone is here. Someone is here and someone... Ooh. Oh, should we do it? It's got a 308. Screw it.
Yeah! The is broken, and we've identified 2 convoys that left the town about 30 minutes before you arrived.
Alright.
Get to the exfil point. We'll catch up with them.
Alright. Well, we have completed the second mission. And our runtime right now, which we're not done yet, but we have been running for 1 hour and 49 minutes right now. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I try to keep talking. I think it would... You'd lose some... I feel like you'd lose some of the how do I say? This would lose some of its pizzazz, man, if I cut out large sections. So I'm just gonna try to keep as much as I can organically as possible in this recording, as well as, you know, keep talking, but let the tense, silent moments speak for themselves. You know. Bird is loud.
The nuke must
Very
be
good.
the 2 convoys that left under the cover of the storm. The Peacekeepers' leader, Larry Smith, released a video saying he...
Alright, so we are going to cut it here, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we're going to hit the Convoy Carnage mission. Very good. I think that we are going to keep playing with these 90s inspired Delta kits. I might put another one together based on some of the close quarters battle stuff, like hostage rescue MP5 stuff. You know, everyone has seen the picture or the pictures of the SEALs wearing boarding gear from the late 80s, early 90s, where they had the flight suits on, Nomex gloves, which we're wearing right now, as well as the bump helmets and goggles with the balaclavas on. If you haven't looked it up or seen that, look up Navy SEAL boarding party on Google. 80s, 90s. Just look for the dudes in the flight suits. It's really, really iconic. But you always see these guys carrying the MP5 SD or the MP5 Navy. We're going to put a kit together to pay homage to them as well. And Dev, if you're listening, throw the option to wear a balaclava in, please. Or some skelly gloves. Because I sure do like skelly gloves. Anyways, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. For more Dagger Direct and other content, man, we've got all sorts of stuff to play. And I'm really enjoying this. If you want to see more retro shooters on the channel, or shooters in general, you let me know. You let me know what you want to see. And in the meantime, remember to mind the gap, stalkers. Mind the gap. And have a good one.